Hey guys, I'm very excited to bring you this gameplay as it gives me an opportunity to showcase the only ultra rare I have maxed out at the moment, and it's a good ultra rare, trust me. I'm playing with my Salarian Infiltrator. This guy's a fantastic sniper character. In my opinion, he's the best sniper rifle character. It's this move combos that he got here. He's got tactical cloak. Obviously this is going to make you squeeze the most damage out of a sniper rifle in the game. So we're going to go with damage, recharge speed, and we're going to take that sniper damage, increase sniper rifle damage by 25% while cloaked, on top of our damage bonus, which is 80% already. Good stuff. Then he's got energy drain and proximity mine. This is going to just allow you to take on all comers and stun them, so you can take a nice clean shot without them moving about too much on you. We'll look at energy drain first, because this is the one we're going to be using most frequently. For the first evolution, I'm going to recommend radius. This is going to allow you to stun a group of enemies, really. I'm going to be using a black widow. This is my ultra rare that I have max. It's going to allow me to basically stun 3 enemies and shoot those 3 enemies dead. But what's most important, even if you were taking a single shot gun, you can basically stun a group of enemies, take out the one group, and you're not going to have to worry about return fire from the others, because they're all going to be spazzing out on you. So it's really going to help you survive out there, energy drain. That's very much chain overload for overload is radius for energy drain. Really helpful. For the next evolution, I'm going to recommend Drain. For these first 2 evolutions, this is what I recommend for every character with Energy Drain. Drain's going to give you back some of your shields. It's going to be 50% when you attack a shielded or barriered enemy, or any synthetic enemy, so the entire Geth army will give you shields when you Energy Drain them. So that's obviously added survivability. And finally, I'm going to recommend damage for this character. With all the other energy drain characters, I would recommend armor boost. That reduces the damage you take by 40% for 10 seconds. So that's like getting armor for a while, just to help you survive out there. But we've got tactical cloak, so we're not going to be getting as much return fire as the other characters would. So let's just make sure we hurt when we strike. That's an increase in damage by 40%. Then there's proximity mine. This is what we got for the armoured targets. We're just going to pound them with this, debuff them, and we're going to take them out nice and quick. They're not going to lose their footing, most of them. There's only the small armoured targets like pyros and dragoons that's really going to just sort of stagger back and allow us to shoot them, but the other targets are massive, so we're not going to miss them anyway. I'm always going to recommend radius and damage taken. Damage taken is the debuff. You want that. No one needs slow. You really don't. The debuff is really good. Take that. That means they take all kinds of damage that hit that enemy for the next 8 seconds is going to increase by 20%. Okay, so that's very useful. Just remember the huge buff we've got on our sniper rifle, and sniper rifles hurt to begin with, and now we've got another 20% buff once we've hit them with proximity mine. The radius is what I recommend in the first one, because that's going to just allow you not to miss with your proximity mine. Unlike what the name sort of suggests, I don't think you should lay this as a trap for the enemy to walk on. Throw it directly at them. Literally just bomb them with the proximity mine. With radius, you can do that with no issue, really. You can just throw it into the group and you'll probably debuff the whole lot of them. If you were to fully spec this out, then I'd probably recommend damage at the end then, just so that the proximity mine hurts as it strikes. But we're going to take those extra points and put them into fitness. So we have got 3 points in that, giving us 625 health and 750 shields. That's all we're going to need, really. For Salarian Operative, then, we're a weapons class. I'm going to recommend weapon damage. I'm also going to recommend power damage, actually, because of energy drain and proximity mine. That's going to help us out. If you're godly, go for headshot damage, because that's just going to help you kill everything so quick, especially the boss end targets. And then obviously take the weapon damage in the last evolution, then we got 22.5% weapon damage bonus there. Alright then, let's look at the weapons. What am I going to recommend for this character? Please. Yeah, just any sniper rifle. Absolutely any sniper rifle is going to work. I'm going to use the Black Widow. It's amazing. It's a fantastic. It's so powerful. You've got 3 shots of this bad boy. It's one of the best shot. Would I say it's the best sniper rifle? For me, yeah. I mean, there's obviously, if you've got a different play style, you're going to prefer something else. But Black Widow is just really approachable, very effective. The mods I'm going to recommend are the piercing mod and the high velocity barrel. It's not a DLC weapon, so there's going to be no added weight, so we can still get our energy drain and stuff going pretty nicely. And obviously we're going to be ignoring 90% of armor, but we're going to be penetrating quite a lot of, quite a thick objects as well. You'll be surprised what walls you can shoot through with those two mods in play. So I can just sort of take enemies out through walls. That's pretty useful. You could go for the magazine upgrade, or possibly the what do they call it now? There it is, the enhanced scope. This helps you see through smoke, so if you're dealing with Cerberus, that's very useful. You know, you can even go with the new one, the thermal scope. That's the same accuracy increase, but it also lets you see through walls, very much like the Geth do in Hunter mode. So, you know, you've got options, but I'm going to go with all the extra piercing, to be honest. Obviously, the Black Widow does pierce by default as well. It does pierce through objects, and so now we've got two extra piercing ones. This is what I mean. It all stacks. There is no limitation on the amount of wall you can pierce. So yeah, that really does come into play. You should see it in the gameplay. Other ones I'm going to recommend though are like the Valiant. That's a fantastic sniper rifle. Could use a buff. Ever since they gave Black Widow and Javelin and all those guys a buff, the Valiant's kind of slipped into obscurity. It used to be really on par with the Black Widow. It's a great sniper rifle. Still very usable if you haven't got a good Black Widow or one at all. You know, the Mantis is going to work, and you know, you can use, if you're a new player and you've got your hands on the Salarian Infiltrator, the Mantis is going to be fantastic for you. Really good sniper rifle, and the Javelin's pretty godly as well. To squeeze the maximum amount of damage, you can put it on the Geth Infiltrator, but you know, like I said, you don't have energy drain to sort of keep them in place, and you have to hold the trigger down for a few seconds before the shot actually comes out the Javelin, which can throw off a lot of people. It's a bit trickier to use, but if you hit with this, I mean, damn, that is a lot of hurt right there. And for the other sniper rifles, I'm going to probably recommend the Indra. The Indra's good. It's like an assault rifle, really, with sniper rifle range, and you know, so it's going to benefit from all your damage bonuses, and it's going to feel like an assault rifle in your hand. So that's very approachable, really. And the Widow's amazing. That's basically a better Mantis, to be honest, with piercing. And the key shock, there's another tricky one, but you know, you get that right, that is absolutely incredible. That does so much damage, and it does bleeding damage after it hurts as well, so you can probably just shoot stuff, and if it isn't dead, it's going to die. It's a charge-up weapon though, so that can be a bit something to get used to. You will need to charge up your gun before you cloak, and then releasing cloak then, so you get the full damage buff. And obviously there's the collector sniper rifle as well. This can be tricky for some. There's a simple way to use it, and it's just about, you basically need to monitor your ammo. You really do. Just keep monitoring it. As long as you never let that gun empty, you're going to be just fine. You're going to do incredible damage. Okay. I do have a character who uses the collector sniper rifle. I'll get more into that then. You can other guns you can use is basically, you want to be able to do a lot of damage very fast. You want to hit hard and fast. So you know, you can use the saber. Saber's going to work. That's also got the range on it as well. That's like, unlike the Indra's like a sniper assault rifle. This is like an assault rifle sniper. You know, so. You know, there's a lot of hybrids going on there, and obviously the shotguns just do work really well with all the infiltrators. So you can use the Geth plasma shotgun. So you can use the kind of same mechanics as going with the key shot. You can use the Wraith. That's amazing. There's the Raider. You know, Crusader, Claymore. You know, hit hard, hit fast, and get back out of dodge. And it's like, if it hasn't died, it's going to, you know, it's going to. Right, let's just go into the equipment then. I think I've made my point with the weapons. For the ammo, I'm going to recommend Warp. Yes, we've got plenty of armor piercing going on, so you can use drill and armor and just literally just shoot through Well, no, you're not going to shoot through any wall in the game, but it's a ridiculous just how much piercing you'll have if you go with either especially drill. But no, I'm going to recommend warp so that we're doing extra damage and weakening armor when we're shooting as well. You're going to kill the bosses really quickly with that, and obviously you're going to deal with barriers quite nicely too. You can go with phasic as well. Phasic is just going to ignore shield gating, so that's basically going to allow you to one-hit kill any sort of troop enemy or mook enemy in one shot. You won't even have to worry about aiming for the head then. You're just going to go right through the shields and just do really good damage. For your armor bonus, though, you can go with a cyclonic modulator. We have only got 3 points in fitness. I mean, if you do get shot, you probably will die. So you can be a bit tankier, but you don't need it really. You've got tactical cloaks, shield, power cells will be useful for you, just so you can get them recharging frequently. I use a cyclonic modulator in this game just because I had some to spare. I thought, why not? You can go with a power amplifier as well. It's going to make your energy drain and proximity mine more powerful, and you know, you're good to go then. To be honest, I probably recommend shield power cells over them all, but cyclonic modulator allows you to be more reckless, if anything, which I like to be. Your gear, though, I'm going to recommend the operative package. That is us. we are the operative. It's sniper rifle and tech damage by 12%, so that covers everything we're going to be doing this game. You can take the sniper rifle rail lamp too, of course. You know, that's a sniper rifle boost by 15%, because we're all guns really. And you know, if you, like I said, if you're godly, go with the vulnerability VI. That's 20% increase to headshot damage. And that's where the pain is. It's really in the head. So if you're a very reliable headshotter, go for that. You're gonna kill stuff so quickly. But you know, I don't always get the headshot. This is actually this is not going to be one of my best headshotting games, but you'll still see that I'm going to kill stuff incredibly quickly. But just imagine you can probably half that speed if you can get the headshots consistently. And then obviously with your weapon your mod, you're going to go with the sniper rifle rail lamp, or you can go with the targeting VI again if you're still in god mode. But that's us. Let's jump into the gameplay and let me show you this Black Widow 10. Alright, and here we are. I'm with Bwnci and my other buddy Myth for this gameplay. I've picked Hydra for the map. Like I said before, I'm trying to get all the maps played, so Hydra's one we haven't done yet. This was part of the first DLC, what was it called? Resurgence? It's a landscape you don't see anywhere else, so that's quite nice. This is also a fantastic grenade map, actually. I think it was one of the originals to only let you get... allows you to get 2 grenades from each ammo box, so yeah, it's really good for grenade characters. But it's going to work out quite nicely as a sniper map as well. I mean, there's a lot of high ground I can take advantage of while the enemy foolishly slink about in the courtyard, and that's what I'm going to try and force the enemy to do throughout this gameplay. Like I've mentioned before, it's all like spawn control stuff. I'll cover that. We got the Reapers. I'm going to try and blame them for the lack of headshots in this one. The Reapers are quite hard to headshot because a lot of them have weird heads. It's like the Ravengers and stuff like that. And the Cannibals, they got their head in the middle of their body and all that kind of stuff. It throws you off a little bit. And the Banshees walk all over the place. And yeah, it's not my fault. Nah, this really wasn't a great gameplay for headshots. I think I only get the bronze trophy, which is pretty... It's upsetting for me, really. I really wanted to show you. I can headshot quite well normally, but I didn't pull it off today. But I decided to still keep the gameplay because I killed stuff fast enough. Like you know, obviously you can imagine that if I was getting the headshots, this probably would have been half the speed. But yeah, as you can see, it's just a matter of me. If any enemy that isn't armoured, I will energy drain, I will cloak, then I'll energy drain. That's basically, this is when that's going to send my cloak off, but there's still a couple of seconds for me to shoot and get the damage boost. But what energy drain's done then is it has stunned the enemy. They're going to normally stand to them, put their head, and they're going to raise their chin and give me a nice clear shot to take them out then. The armoured targets like this brute now, I'm going to throw a proximity mine at them and then shoot. They're going to be debuffed, they're going to just take massive damage from my shot. Something I don't think I've mentioned yet, but it kind of explains itself. Energy drain dip shields and barriers, that's what it does. But what energy drain is really great for is it transfers those shields and barriers to you. It's incredible damage in it. This is a Black Widow 10. It's okay to be jealous if you haven't got it. It's fantastic. I used to use the Widow on this. Well, first of all, I used to use the Valiant. Then a lot of the snipers got a buff, switched to the Widow for a bit, and then my Black Widow became level 10. And I was like, okay, why aren't I using this? I'm so used to my Ultra as being crappy that I actually just didn't realise how high level my Black Widow was until I saw the little card saying you got a level 10 now. I'm very excited about that, and it is very good. But yeah, it's because I can basically just I can line up my shots so easily with a Salarian. It's why I would always opt for him to be my sniper character. Now, the thing with sniper rifles, they do suffer a penalty if you try to shoot them from the hip. You just don't want to be doing that. But obviously, when you're in scope, your aim is slower. Your movement's slower because it's all sort of focused. This is the trick I'm going to introduce you to. It's called quick scoping. Essentially, I'm aiming from the hip. But before I take the shot, that's when I'll hit the left trigger, I'll aim, and then I'll fire. And I'll instantly let go of the L trigger then. And line up my next shot. This allows me to aim very quickly, but not suffer any of the penalties from sniper rifles. You also get to really kind of take advantage of the auto-aim. The auto-aim is normally your enemy in this game, it really is. It tries to aim for the closest target, but I find it just seems to consistently go for insignificant targets like swarmers and stuff like that when I'm trying to take out an enemy that's shooting at me. It really messes you up, but this is kind of putting it under your control, really. I'm lining up the shot. I'm basically picking the enemy I want to hit from the hip, and then I'm going to let auto-aim aim for me. It's going to tidy up my shot, and I'm going to pull the trigger. That's not to say that you don't aim doing this. You do need to have that. You do need to have that kind of skill. As you can see there, it doesn't do it for you. I missed those husks. I think I missed every shot on those husks. And the final shot when somebody stunned them out of my range was just it was quite rage-inducing. It happens sometimes, I'm not a robot. But no, it does. It basically is sort of manipulating the system for you. You are still going to have to learn to aim if you're not that strong at that yet. There you go. That was a one shot on the Ravager, and that's because of the proximity mine. Obviously, I looked at it. I fired a proximity directly at it, and instantly followed that up with a shot, and it was dead in a blink of an eye. The Ravager's headshot is that little blue glow thing on the top of its head. It's like it's on its. If you can remember what the Ravengers look like. Their face is at the front, and then they got like a blue light coming off the top of their head. That's their headshot damage. You shoot that blue light, that's going to hurt. You can also burst their sacks for like a nice spike of damage, similar to how the Scions work. But obviously, when you're sniping, just go for the head. Go for the head. You should always try and aim for the head, because you'll drop pretty much every target in one shot, bar the bosses, really. I'm going to move away from that ramp there because auto-aim was throwing me off entirely. It couldn't decide which target to make me shoot. They must have been all the same distance, and it was sort of locking me in the middle of them all, and I just wasn't shooting anything, so screw it, pick out all these cannibals now. Yeah, auto aims can be a real pain. I wish you could switch it off, or at least adjust the you know, adjust how much of it comes into play. It can be a real burden to you sometimes. It's so stupid. It really is. It's really stupid. It's got like, it always makes me aim for the wrong guy. It's supposed to help you take on the target that's closest to you, and now and again it has shown me there's a target closer to me that I didn't realise. But what I wanted to shoot was the target that was actually trying to kill me. You know, and it does just get me killed sometimes. I'm shooting. It's a target I need to kill before he kills me, and then my auto aim just turns me around. It makes me face some guy I didn't even know, and most of the time it's a swarmer. It's really irritating. You can see cannibals are one shot, marauders are 2 shots if I don't get the if I don't get the headshot, 1 shot if I do. This is a Bwnci I'm going to shoot through the wall with all my piercing. Lovely jubbly. You know, as a sniper though, that doesn't mean I just hide. You know, I don't just hold one position and try and pick enemies off slowly but surely. I still run out. I basically use the sniper rifle like I use the pistol. You know, I use medium range. I can use long range. That's an option I have, thanks to it being a sniper rifle. But most of the time, I will just fight in pistol range. It's more than enough for me to keep myself out of danger and get the hits I need on the enemy. Then. See, that's what I was talking about with the enemy shield gating. I mean, obviously that Marauder had 2 bars of health and 1 bar of shield. I shot him and he still survived it because of his shield gating. Obviously if I had phasic or I got the headshot, that just would have there would have been too much damage there, or the shield gating would have been ignored and he would have died in 1 shot, absolutely. See, look, take out Ravagers real quick. And I hope you're noticing how I am using that proximity mine. I don't lay it as a trap unless I'm dealing with a very speedy enemy that's charging me, because then I know they're just going to run at me and they're going to hit that proximity mine. But when I've just got a group of enemies or they're in the distance, I just chuck the proximity directly at them. You can always just sort of throw it directly at their feet to sort of guarantee it's going to get them. I mean, even if the proximity mine doesn't detonate on contact, their foot is going to set it off. Another great thing about energy drain, of course, basically anything without shields that gets shot with a Black Widow is going to die. You know, and that's what energy drain's doing for me. It's taking the shields off. I'm going to try and control the spawn now. I'm going to stand here on LZ so they can't spawn here. Enemies on this map can get stuck on LZ. If they spawn there, the big bosses, they just can't move from it. And you'll find that when you're playing stuff like Vanguards or or even the Shadow Strike, you can't attack that enemy. They're just sort of in this weird void where they just can't move and they can't be charged. What are you going to do? It's a bug on this map, but obviously that spawn I just took out is a big spawn. They also do spawn at the back there. You see the 2 archways here. It's just the 1 archway, but the other one's got a little chest-high wall for you to jump. But right at the back there, they will spawn behind that wall, and there's a little sort of L structure at the back as well. They'll all spawn there too. I do try to go for the head, I really do. It feels better, to be honest. They will spawn in this lab here, or whatever it is. thing with a big glowing ball in it. Science room. They'll spawn there. They'll also spawn in that sort of control tower that I walked through right at the start of this wave. Proximity mine's really good for just clearing those swarmers. You know, when you kill a Ravager, a ton of swarmers just slip out and they'll eat your shields away. So I just throw a proximity mine at them, that's them done, really. You really want to minimise the amount of time you are in that courtyard down there, because basically, as you can see, I'm using it to sort of keep the enemy in there and just snipe them dead, whereas if you can put yourself in that position, the enemy can be completely surrounding you and you're out in the open, then there's very little cover out there and you can be shot from every single angle, so don't spend too much time in that courtyard down there. Yeah, she's an example. She was charging me, so I can put a proximity mine just in front of me, and I know she's going to waltz on top of it eventually. Ooh, double warp ball. That did hurt. Thanks to cyclonic modulators, though, I'm not going to need to ops pack. I'm just going to brave the pain for this one. I would say the Reapers are actually the hardest enemy to headshot just because of their irregular heads. You know, there's some really warped looking monsters that you're dealing with here. The easiest ones are the Collectors, actually. All of them have got massive heads. Even the Praetorian is just, he's got a huge spot for headshots. He's really quite easy to headshot those guys. Then I'd probably say Cerberus, the next easiest one, because they're quite familiar targets. I mean, anybody who's played any kind of shooting game is familiar with shooting a guy, so you know what you're dealing with there with Cerberus. And obviously the big pack on the Atlas's back is not a hard target if you can get round there. And then you got the Geth, they're not too bad. Shooting for the little light bulbs and stuff there on all targets. They're on the control tower here. Dom took most of that actually. Really ought to call out your missiles. I'm guilty of not doing it myself. Unless I can see somebody coming to the same spawn as me, I'll say, oh, I've got this spawn. Dom actually just likes to try and steal the spawn before me. He just does. The trick with rockets, the rockets work really bizarrely in this game. So the worst thing you can do is actually shoot the enemy with the rocket launcher, because they just go through them. The missile just goes straight through enemies. However, if you shoot the surfaces near them, walls, floors, ceilings, around the enemy, that's when you get them. That's when they get hit in the blast radius. So that's why I shot like the cover just in front of the enemy's end to get that spawn. Myth's playing a Quarian Engineer with a suspiciously familiar colour scheme. But he's using the sentry turret. Obviously, I recommend against it. But he must like the aggro that thing manages to capture. Something I haven't touched on then, because it just happened, obviously, with Myth using his quarrying, with incinerating, all that kind of good stuff, is energy drain and proximity mine are detonators. Energy drain is also a primer. Although they're tricky, I mean, proximity mine will detonate everything. Energy drains, from what I can tell, only seems to detonate at shielded or synthetic targets. You know, if the target hasn't got a shield and they're primed and they're on fire, you don't actually get the fire explosion, from what I've spotted. But when the target's still got his shield on, which is inconsistent, because I know that an enemy can only really catch fire if they haven't got any protection. But from what I've noticed, it's like if I energy drain a target with shields, that's when I get the explosion from energy drain. But of course, if you energy drain a target, they are fit for attack first. This spot here where I am now, right at the back, this is the last big spawn point. Don't know where she went. Me and Myth are like, oh, where is she? There she is. She must have tried to walk through the wall that was too thick for her, and she literally just got herself stuck behind cover then. See, despite my sad bronze trophy at the end, I think I did get more headshots than that. I don't know. Who am I to argue with the machine? So this is, that's it then. We basically nuked all the targets and we had plenty of rockets to spare. I'm going to... This is the best place to hold the Hydra, right at the back here. This is another one where the LZ is just something you cannot defend. It's right out in the open. You have no cover whatsoever. Everything's going to shoot and charge you. The enemy are going to spawn real close. They're going to be right round that corner, or they're going to be in the control tower, or just below it, and they're going to just be on you so quick. Here you can basically get them on the opposite side of the map and get into LZ when it's nice and clear at the end then. You've also got the big archway there, to plenty of cover for you. And you've got higher ground, so it's all good stuff. I brought my rockets out at the beginning because quite frequently they will, like I said, spawn just below the control tower there. And that would that would put a lot of pressure, especially the Ravengers and stuff. They would just turn around and start nuking us, so I thought I'd clear that spawn straight away. Other than that, I don't recommend you nuke spawns on extraction wave unless you're just a fucking point hole. To be honest, there is no logical reason to do it. It's actually counterproductive in most cases. Did take out a spawn though, not the one I was planning, but well, it wasn't a spawn actually. There was just a lot of enemies on me. Very all of a sudden, Dom called them out, and I was like, "Oh, I'll just nuke them." This Bwnci, however, is going to prove to be my nemesis. I took ages to kill her. She took so long, I decided, no, I'm not leaving until she's dead. And there you go. And now I'm going to rush for Elsie. She was just, she was moving so irregularly for me. I just couldn't land a shot there. I'll get around here. This is quite funny. Myth just went into the fetal position. Oh. He's so lucky to survive. Because if she puts her hand through you, you are dead. She will vaporise when the clock goes, but if she gets her hand through you... I don't even know if it's that long. I'm sure she gets you right up in the air, you're dead as far as the game's concerned. But he was allowed to come home with us there. But yeah, love the Black Widow, love the Salarian Infiltrator. I mean, if you're not playing him yet, start doing so. You're missing out there. Fantastic Infiltrator. But that's the video now, guys. I will catch you next time. Take care of yourselves.